In Japanese schools, students memorize more than 100 kanji characters in a single day. And here we often take 3 days just to memorize one formula. Today's video is inspired by the Japanese method. You're going to learn 5 memory systems that Japanese students use to lock in knowledge by combining visuals, logic, and emotion. But before we dive in, let me ask you, are you a visual learner? Or without emotion and logic, do you find nothing sticks in your mind? Comment below and let's find out your memory type. And hack it, Japanese style. First, kanji coding. How do the Japanese use visual recall? Imagine an 8-year-old child writing the same character again and again, engraving it inside the brain. Japanese children memorize kanji not by spelling, but by story. Every kanji is like an image, connected to real life. For example, the kanji for tree literally looks like a tree, with branches and roots. You can use the same trick, add doodles or tiny symbols in your notes. Why? Because the brain processes visuals 60,000 times faster than words. That's your advantage. Use it. Second, mnemonics with emotion. Japanese memory coaches know one secret. Emotion means retention. Their mnemonics are not boring, they're dramatic, funny, even silly. For example, mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. Now imagine it as an angry energy factory scolding the lazy cells around it. It sounds stupid, but it works. Why? Because emotions leave chemical traces in the brain, and those traces become memory. So add drama to your flashcards. A funny face, a weird story, a bit of exaggeration. That's how memory gets a turbo boost. Third, interleaved practice. Mix it up. Remember better. Do you usually study maths after maths and physics after physics? Japanese students don't. They interleave topics. Maths, then history, then physics, then back to maths. Every time the brain switches subjects, active recall kicks in. Yes, it feels a little harder in the beginning, but the memory goes much deeper. So, next time you plan your study session, don't stack the same subjects. Mix them up, as if you're giving your brain a workout. You've now seen 3 Japanese memory systems, and here comes the method that locks your revision like a password-protected vault. By the way, if you've learned something new already, drop a comment below. Fourth, teaching as recall. Why do Japanese students explain things to walls? Because they use the Feynman technique. Whatever they study, they explain it in their own words, as if to a 5-year-old child. When you explain something simply, you discover the gaps in your own knowledge. So try this. Record a short voice note of what you learned in the morning. Then in the evening, explain it aloud, even if it's just to yourself. Teach to lock in. Fifth, space, not just spaced. Space repetition is important, but Japanese students use another hack, visual space. Look at their notebooks. Plenty of breathing room, wide margins, and white gaps around key points. Not overcrowded like ours often are. Why does this work? Because the brain organizes information better when it has space. Next time you take notes, leave intentional white gaps. Take a pause between big ideas. Give your brain visual rhythm. So now you know the 5 Japanese memory secrets. 1. Visual recall with kanji coding. 2. Emotional mnemonics. 3. Interleaved practice. 4. Teaching as recall. And 5. Visual white space. To truly remember, you need rhythm, not rote learning. Subscribe to the Power Up Knowledge with Adwaitya, where studying is